Welcome to Create with Mrs. Carr. Today we are going to work on a beetle. This is the one that I've chosen to do, and I was going off this photograph that I found of a beetle, and I thought it was really cool, the different shapes that you can pick out. There's lots of different insects and stuff out there, so if you have a favorite one, you can just look at it and try to figure out what all the shapes are. And anyway, it should be pretty fun. Get your stuff. I'm going to do a pencil and a Sharpie, and make sure you have an eraser. And I am actually going to paint this with watercolors, but you can color it however you want. Okay, get your stuff. Okay, so I was saying before that I really liked the shape of this beetle, and I think it's really cool that there's like a half a circle and like an oval. So anyway, we're going to start with the head of the beetle. I'm going to do it in pencil because sometimes when you're doing circles, you have to erase and like go back over it. So right in the middle of your paper, here's my middle, maybe right here, and I'm going to go up a little ways for the head. So I'm going to start with a line that goes across, and then we need to do a half circle. Okay. Okay, we've got our half circle. And what's interesting about this bug is that there's kind of a space, and then there's this part that's kind of attaches the head to the body. So we are going to do this part now. So we're going to leave a space and do another line. And then I'm trying to figure out how far this shell should be down. So I'm going to just put a little dot there. And I think that kind of helps me know how far to come down. And now we're going to create this kind of oval. So you come straight on the sides and curve. Okay. If you need to make it more round, I think this should be more round than what mine ended up being. Okay. So now we've got the body. Okay. Now there's this funny little thing that I'm going to put in Sharpie along with like the eyes and stuff, but it's kind of like another half circle, and it's right in the middle at the top of this body. Okay, from that part, there's a line, and I guess when it flies, the wings come apart right here. So we need to create that. It goes down the middle of our beetle. Okay. Now we need to create the part that attaches the head to the body, and it's a little bit further out than the half circle we just did, and they're kind of diagonal lines, so they're lines that aren't just straight up and down. They kind of curve in a little, maybe. Let me redo that one. Okay. All right. Now we need to do let's do the oval eyes. So they're right, not right on the front right here. They're kind of spread out a little ways, and they're just really big ovals. And when you get your Sharpie out, you can color those in. Try to make sure that they're the same size, and they go just barely off of the beetle, just a little bit. Okay, it has these antennae that come out the front. So they're in front of the eyes, and it's a line that goes this way, and we're going to put two of them so that it makes it for a thicker part of its body. And then we're going to curve our line and come to the edge of our paper, not quite touching it, and then we'll curve on the end. Okay, we're going to do that very same right over here. And then make sure you curve the ends. Okay. So these arms, there's 6 arms, or legs, arms, whatever. And these ones are attached to the head area, and they're straight lines that come out the sides. So you're trying to make them the same on both sides. So you're thickening it up, and then it has like this funny little hook on it that curves like this. Remember, if I'm going too fast, you can always pause the video. So I'm going to do that very same out this way. And then the little hook. Okay. Now we're going to make the middle arms, but they have this funny little half circle before they start on both of these, not the ones we just created, but we're going to come down from this edge just a little bit and do like a half circle. And I'm going to do that on both sides. Okay, so these ones don't go straight towards like where it's maybe walking towards. It's going to go, they're going to curve backwards. And so 2 lines. And they have a hook that goes this way. Also, there's these funny little lines on the sides. So let's go back to the legs that we did first off, and they have about 3 of them that stick out. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And then on this one, it looked like there were about 5. So you want them to be the same on both sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and do the same over on the other one. Okay. All right, now we're going to create these back legs, and we need the half circles again. So make sure it's not really close up here. It goes about halfway down the body, and we're going to do the half circles. Okay, these legs are thicker for sure. So it's a line. We'll start with this line that comes down, and then it kind of comes this way and it comes back. And notice that it's thinner at the top and thicker at the bottom. Okay, and then it has these funny little hooks that actually have 2 spots instead of like 1. So how we create that is we need to curve, and then it's like the letter V or W maybe. Yep, it's a W. So we just kind of created that. Okay, and I counted about 6 little spikes out the side this time. Okay, so the body looked a little longer than maybe the wings are, and so we just need to like extend that a little bit. So we're gonna come down and just do like a rounded line down here. Okay, all right, we have created our insect. All right, now get your Sharpie and Sharpie it. Okay, now that it's all Sharpied, we should look at our beetle again. So I'm going to look at this picture since I was trying to do it really closely to this. It has some purple along some of the edges. So purple, and then it has yellow. And let me show you. This is called the color wheel. The color wheel is really cool with art, and it kind of shows you like colors that are complementary to each other. So the yellow, whatever's across from the yellow, the purple, those two complement each other really, really well. That means that when you paint, so I'm going to paint, but you can color or use colored pencils or crayons or whatever you want to do. But when you put those on top of each other, they kind of like make each other more mellow, not as bright. They almost turn into a little bit of like maybe a tan or a brown sometimes when you do complementary colors. So blue's complementary color is orange and green's is red, but we're going to deal with the yellow and the purple. Okay, so how I'm going to start this, I'm going to actually first do some purple around like the edge. Okay, so we've got our purple on there, and it looks like there's maybe some like shading maybe around the edges down here too. So I'm gonna come across and down on both sides. And you can do more of this if you want. You don't have to follow exactly like what I'm doing, but I'm trying to make it look like it's brighter on top and maybe more shaded on the sides. Also, it kind of has like this darker gray or black along here. I might put a little bit of purple down here. Okay. Here, we'll just do this a little bit. Oh, and I needed to Sharpie that. Let me do that really quick. Okay, now I'm going to take my yellow. So make sure you swish off in your water. Okay. All right, when you're watercoloring, sometimes it's nice to have some tissue and be able to kind of touch your paint as you go. If it seems to like maybe it's not going quite right, or you need to like take some of the color off. Okay. So I'm going all the way over all of the purple that I just did. Okay. All right, and I'm gonna actually take a little bit of black. Black can actually overwhelm things, so you really should have a tissue when you use black, because sometimes it seems like it's barely there and sometimes it almost covers things. So I'm gonna do some black down the middle of the shell. Okay, maybe even up here just a little bit. Okay, now I think that the legs looked really good if they were black. So you can do that. I think we're gonna fast forward this part. Okay, I think that the antennae, these look kind of cool if they're purple. So I'm gonna use that purple for a pop of color. And then this little part that connects the head and the body, I thought it looked really good brown. So I did this part brown. That's what it kind of looked like in the photograph. And I felt like this part down here actually looked better in brown. Okay. Okay, so there's another word that we could use in art. It's called symmetrical. So that means kind of the same on both sides. So these legs look the very same, but like if you were just looking over here and just looking over here, obviously these 3 legs are very different, but they're the same on both sides. These are the same, these are the same, and these are the same. That's the way it should be as far as like their shape and their length and everything. So that's kind of cool too. Okay, well, I think we are done. Thanks so much, you guys. Have a great day. Bye.